हेलो स्टूडेंट्स। सो फाइनली बच्चे ने नया चैप्टर तैयार किया है और वो है ग्रेविटेशन। आप लोगों की डिमांड पे पूरा ग्रेविटेशन सिंगल शॉट के अंदर रिवाइज करवाने वाली है। इसी तरीके से आपको याद होना चाहिए। उसके बाद में जो फॉर्मूलाज ये बोल रही हैं वो कैसे आप अप्लाई करते हो जब आपके सामने क्वेश्चन आता है, वो सारी स्ट्रेटेजी आपके दिमाग में चलनी चाहिए। आप आंखें बंद करें और जैसे जैसे ये बोल रही है पूरा चैप्टर आपको रिवाइज करवा रही है, उसी के साथ साथ जो आप अपना चैप्टर रिवाइज करें, ताकि पेपर के अंदर जैसे ही आप अपनी आंखें बंद करें तो ये सब जितने भी फॉर्मूलाज बोले जा रहे हैं वो आपको मेमोराइज हो अच्छे से। देखिए अब आपको कॉन्टिन्यूशन के अंदर आपके ग्रेविटेशन चैप्टर को कैसे रिवाइज करना और कैसे मेमोराइज करना है, वो इस पूरे कंप्लीट सेशन के बाद अपने डिस्कस करने वाले हैं। तो आप सुनिए अब ग्रेविटेशन चैप्टर बाय रितिमा।
Gravitation force, force of attraction between any two arbitrary point mass objects or greater masses objects. Then Newton's laws of gravitation, which is only being applicable for spherical symmetry and point masses. F gravitational force is Fg, which is equals to F12 is equals to F21. It is G capital M1 M2 upon my R square, where G is universal gravitational constant, whose value is 6.67 into 10 raised to a minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. Then properties of a gravitational force. It is a central force. Second, it is conservative in nature. Third, it does not depend upon the medium between it does not depend upon the medium between two particles, and it is an infinitively ranged force, and it follows superposition principle, and it forms an action reaction force. Then superposition principle, force between any two object does not depend upon the presence of a other medium, but the net force on the system depends upon the presence of all, but the net force on the system depend upon all the forces which are going to act on it. Then gravitational field intensity is force per unit mass which is exerted. Then gravitational field intensity due to a hollow sphere, outside the sphere it is G capital M upon my small r square, where small r is greater than the radius of a surface radius of the earth sphere. Then at the surface of a sphere it is equals to G capital M upon my capital R square. Then inside the sphere, gravitational field intensity of a hollow sphere is being 0. Inside a thick hollow sphere also gravitational field intensity is 0. Then gravitational field intensity due to a solid sphere, outside the sphere it is also G capital M upon my small r square, where small r is greater than the radius of a earth sphere. Then at the surface of a sphere it is G capital M upon my capital R square. Then inside the sphere it is G capital M into small r upon my capital R cube. Then acceleration due to gravity, at earth's surface it is equals to G at a high acceleration due to G capital M into small r upon my capital R square, which is also being equals to 4 by 3 pi into density into radius into gravitational constant. When density is being kept constant, then gravitational field acceleration due to gravity, it is directly proportional to the radius of the earth. Then acceleration due to gravity at a height of altitude h, which is also equals to G capital G at a height is equals to G naught into 1 plus h by r ka whole square, which is also equals to G capital M upon my r plus h ka whole square. Then when height is being very much lesser than the radius of a sphere, that is up to 320 kilometers or 5% of the radius of a sphere, then G at a height is equals to 1 minus G at a surface into whole bracket 1 minus 2h by r, which is also being equals to delta G by G is equals to 2h by r. Then acceleration due to gravity at a depth of d from the surface of the surface of a radius r, then which is equals to G at a depth is equals to G naught 1 minus d by r, which is also equals to G naught into small r, where small r is equals to small r is equals to 1 minus d by r. Then when depth is being compared with the height of altitude h, then depth is equals to 2 times of h. It is only applicable for 5%, that is 320 kilometers. And then acceleration due to gravity due to rotation of a earth, G effective is equals to G naught minus omega square into r cos square theta. At equator cos theta is equals to 0 degree, so G effective is equals to G naught minus omega square into r. At poles cos theta is equals to 90 degree, so G effective is equals to G naught. It has no effect due to the rotation of a earth, it will remain same. Then for weightlessness condition, G effective must be 0, which is equals to omega is equals to 1 by cos theta root under G by by r, omega is equals to 1 by cos theta root under g by r. Then gravitational potential energy, minimum potential energy which is required to bring a point mass or a mass from infinity to a point under consideration without changing its kinetic energy. Gravitational potential energy, it is equals to minus g capital M into small m upon my r. Gravitational potential energy change is negative of work done by conservative forces. Work done is equals to g capital M into small m upon my r. Then gravitational potential, it is the gravitational potential energy per unit mass which is equals to, due to ring, minus g capital M upon my minus g capital M root under my r square plus my x square, where x is equals to r by root 2. Then gravitational potential is maximum. Then gravitational potential due to a hollow sphere outside the sphere, it is equals to minus g capital M upon small r, where small r is greater than the radius of a sphere. Then at the surface of a sphere, gravitational potential, it is equals to minus g capital M upon my capital R. Then inside the sphere, gravitational potential is constant, which is equals to minus g capital M upon my capital R, equal to the radius of a sphere. It behaves as an equipotential surface inside the sphere. Then due to a solid sphere, gravitational potential, it is equals to minus g capital M upon my small r. At the surface of a sphere, it is equals to minus g capital M upon my capital R. Then inside the sphere, it is equals to minus g capital M upon my 2 r cube whole bracket root under 3 r square minus my small r square. Then gravitational potential energy due to a earth point mass system, which is equals to delta U is equals to mgh upon my 1 plus h by r, which is also equals to n upon my n plus 1 mgr, where h is equals to n times of radius of the sphere of earth. Then h max attained is equals to v square into r upon my 2gr minus v square. Then v escape velocity, minimum amount of velocity acquired by an object to escape from a gravitational field, which is equals to root under 8 by 3 pi into density into gravitational constant into radius ka whole square. When density is kept a constant, then v escape is directly proportional to radius of the sphere, then which is also equals to root under 2 times of g capital M upon my r plus h. For earth surface, v escape is equals to 8.1 kilometer per second. Then orbital velocity is equals to root times of 8 g capital M upon my r plus h. For earth surface, it is equals to 8.1 kilometer per second. Then when orbital velocity is increased, when orbital velocity of a satellite is increased by 41%, then it will be escaped from the gravitational field. Then satellite motion, elliptical or circular path of an object around a large central body like a planet under gravitational field, it is satellite motion. Omega is equals to root under में g capital M upon में capital R cube. Time period is equals to 2 pi root under में R cube upon में g capital M. For a Earth satellite, time period is equals to 84.6 minutes. Then satellite motion. Then we have a binary star system. Binary star system, when two masses which are being particularly separated by a distance and moving about their center of mass due to a gravitational pull, it is which is also being equals time period 2 pi root under r cube upon g capital M. It is binary star system. And then we have the Kepler's law of planetary motion. Kepler's law of planetary motion, first is being the law of orbit. All planets move around the sun in an elliptical orbit with sun at one of the focus of orbits, where R1 is equals to a plus ae, R2 is a minus ae, then 2a is equals to a1 plus a2. And then we have 2a is equals to r1 plus r2, sorry. And then we have a law of aerial velocity. All equal area in an equal time interval sweeps out. All planets move around equal area in an equal time interval sweeps in a particular time period. That is, angular momentum is being conserved and linear momentum is not conserved. dA by dt is equals to L by 2m. And we have a third law, that is the square of time period is directly proportional to the semi-major radius of the planet traced, that is t square is directly proportional to the cube of radius. Then geostationary satellite, which is located at a 6 hour from the radius of a sphere, whose time period is 24 hour and velocity is 3.1 kilometer per second. It moves in an equatorial plane. Then about the polar satellite, whose time period is 100 minutes, which rotates about the pole.
तो फाइनली आप सभी ने रिवाइज किया ग्रेविटेशन. एक चीज़ ज़रूर मैं बोलूँगा, आप कमेंट सेक्शन के अंदर ज़रूर बताइए कहीं पर भी अगर गलती की हो इस बच्ची ने, तो वो आप ज़रूर बताएं. वैसे गलती नहीं की है, मैंने पूरा चैप्टर यहीं बैठ करके सुना है. आई थिंक आपका पूरा ग्रेविटेशन चैप्टर रिवाइज हुआ होगा। नेक्स्ट किस चैप्टर की आपको डिमांड है वो कमेंट सेक्शन के अंदर आप जरूर बताइएगा। और आप जैसे जैसे ये बच्ची बोल रही है वैसे वैसे अपनी आप आंखें बंद करें और मेमोराइज करें कि हमारी खुद की नोटबुक के अंदर, हमारी कॉपी में हमने ये जो है फॉर्मूला कहाँ लिखा हुआ है। उससे क्या होगा, लंबे समय तक आपको चीज़ें रिटेन रहेंगी। ठीक है। और एंड मोमेंट पे ये लेक्चर्स आपको बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रहने वाले हैं आप सभी के लिए, बिकॉज ऑफ कि जब भी आप मान लीजिए लास्ट जो मंथ रहने वाला है अप्रैल, उसके अंदर आप ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं या फिर आप जो है अपने एग्जाम सेंटर पे जा रहे हैं, तो आपको क्विक अगर रिवीजन की रिक्वायरमेंट है तो विद इन 5 to 7 मिनट्स आपको ये सारी पूरी जितने भी फॉर्मूलाज हैं वो सारे एक क्विक रिवाइज हो जाते हैं। तो उसके हिसाब से आपके लिए सबसे बेस्ट है। और कमेंट सेक्शन के अंदर फिर से बताइएगा कैसा रहा है ये आज का लेक्चर। ऑल द बेस्ट टू ऑल ऑफ यू, लव यू ऑल, थैंक यू।